As a feminist theologian, one of the things that gives me joy is reinterpreting texts that have been used to hurt and control people. Need to trust women to make the critically important decisions about whether they're going to continue a pregnancy. It's rooted in a reinterpreted understanding of the story of the Garden of Eden that recognizes and affirms the moral agency and wisdom that Eve chose in the garden.
Hey guys, it's Garrett coming to you live from Daily Divers. It's your Daily Dive Disciple. We got Shenanigan Friday here for you. I got two clips. The first one's going to be about a pastor who explains how all things are possible using Mark 10 as a reference point to justify his heresy. They have a drag king, so a woman who's portraying as a man, and he's talking about how it's okay. Unreal, using the Bible passage that all things are possible to mean that you can go ahead and sin and whatever. Introduce that into the pulpit. And then another one is a pastor you've seen before, but the last time I had her on here, she was about, obviously unaliving your youth, your children at birth. So she was trying to teach that, and how when she did it, she felt like God came inside of her. So that was a unique approach. She's back again, this time teaching about the fall, glorifying the fall of Adam and Eve. So stick around. And if you like this, please comment, share, subscribe, as that helps the algorithm out. Yeah, so let's see where these shenanigans are starting here. So what do you have for us? This is the drag pastor, as you can see in the corner. Unreal. It kind of looks like she's got horns. You see that picture, doesn't it? Anyway, all right, let's get started.
Mark's gospel says this: for mortals it is impossible, but not for God. For God, all things are possible. All things are possible.
Okay. That's good. That's a start.
That means that a preacher can be a drag king.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
What?
It's not.
And they're cheering it on. Wow, they're all blind. The blind leading the blind. That's for sure.
Every day that you are a part of a denomination who will ordain not only a woman to ministry, but who allow that woman to be a drag king.
Stop it. Get some help.
For God, all things are possible. Reverend Brooke Dooley, known as Rock Bottom, has performed primarily in the Dallas-Fort Worth area since 2014 and enjoys blatantly ignoring gender norms in favor of an uninhibited, playful expression.
And the Bible. Blatantly ignoring the Bible. We forgot to say that part. We forgot that one.
Of being that combines queer history, pop culture, tearaway pants, and at times religion. In 2023, following the ordination of the Reverend Brooke Dooley, with whom Brock shares a body, Brock began to weave ministry and the spiritual aspects of drag to create a tapestry that invites exploration of divine mystery and creation. It is in that space of curiosity that Brock helps to unveil the ways in which we so often suppress our own gifts. Can I get an amen this morning?
Ew. So it sounds like he was going to say suppressing sexual stuff, but I think that's what they were alluding to. Unreal. Yeah, they've got some problems. He's got some problems. They all do. This is what, if you're wondering what, wolf in sheep's clothing looks like, here you go. If you're wondering what, in the Bible, when it says, I think it's in Timothy, where he talks about, they masquerade as like, angels of light or ministers of good. Here you go. This is his example. We don't have to wonder. You've ever wondered what a reprobate mind looks like? I have for you right here a reprobate mind. This is what it looks like. And they don't hide it, they parade it. And that actually is relating to a verse I'm going to show you today. It's actually prophesied that that's what they do. So let's go on. So she's been here before. Last time I had her here, she was talking about, unaliving your children. But this is the one where she's talking about Adam and Eve. So anyway, and glorifying the sin, or maybe it's actually tied in with this. I didn't actually get to watch the full video. But anyway, let's see what she has for us.
As a feminist theologian, one of the things that gives me joy is reinterpreting texts that have been used to hurt and control people.
And you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Despite 2 millennia of misogynistic interpretations of Genesis and Eve, there have always been other ways to read this story.
Really?
So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her. And he ate. When we say that we need...
She hates men. She really hates men. You can see that in her facial expressions when she said it. Unreal. Call yourself a pastor and hate half your congregation. Well, hopefully half. Maybe not.
Need to trust women to make the critically important decisions about whether they're going to continue a pregnancy. It's rooted in a reinterpreted understanding of the story of the Garden of Eden that recognizes and affirms the moral agency and wisdom that Eve chose in the garden.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
The story of Eve is the story of why humanity is able to distinguish between right and wrong. And it marks this moral agency, this knowledge, as part of what it means to be like God.
No, there's a difference here, okay? They ate of the fruit. They weren't supposed to. They fell. They realized they were naked, okay? They were naked because they weren't clothed, right? And there's typology with that with Jesus. He clothes us. Without him, we're naked, right? Our sin is bare. It's exposed. It's all over the Old Testament for people who are sinful. God says he'll make he'll make you naked, and all will see you. All your enemies will hate you, and it's exposing your sin, right? And she's taking this and tying it in with having the choice of abortion. I stand corrected. I thought this was different this morning. Apparently not. It's an add-on to what I had in the last video. What?
Imago Dei. Reinterpreting Eve's action as the origin of one of humanity's deepest connections with the divine helps us recognize the importance of respecting and supporting the moral agency of women. Across the country, politicians and judges are acting to force the daughters of Eve to bear children.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Rejecting our moral agency, imposing state control over our bodies and our childbearing.
You serious?
We don't know what will happen in the days, weeks, and months to come as this new administration continues to pursue a radical anti-abortion agenda.
We're all gonna die!
But let us be clear that the problem lies not with the daughters of Eve, but with those who seek to use the tools of the state to police morality and codify a minority religious belief as the law of the land.
Why are you there? Why are you here? What's your point? Which, I mean, why are you in the pulpit? The police morality. I mean, you don't have morality without God or the Bible, and you're going against it. But you're using it to further your agenda. Kind of ironic there. No, don't believe the Bible, but believe the Bible. Believe my interpretation of the Bible is what she's basically saying. The heresy one that no one has seen for the last 2,000 years till recently. Wow. I'm a little shocked, guys, in case you can't tell. This is shocking. I had no idea that this is where it would go, and that's how she would twist the Bible. Amazing that she could be so wrong, and either she knows she's wrong or she doesn't, and she's blind. And so I'm gonna say probably she's blind, and I hope that she comes to Christ. This is unreal. I'm speechless to a point how wrong she is, to be honest. But anyway, how does this relate to the Bible? Well, let's kind of tie this in here. So I'm gonna try to do kind of what I did before, kind of tie it in with the videos. So what's going on here? Well, let's start with kind of the drag preacher, where he had said,
For mortals it is impossible, but not for God. For God, all things are possible. All things are possible. That means that a preacher can be a drag king.
Mark 10. So let's kind of dive into here. So Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 10:21 to 22. And Paul said, you cannot drink from the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons, and you cannot partake in the table of the Lord and the table of demons. Shall we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? Yeah, no, you're not stronger than him. So don't provoke him to jealousy and anger. And so what do they have on the altar? Obviously their sin, right? They're worshiping their sin. That's why they bring it into the pulpit for all to see and to parade, huh? And that kind of relates to actually this one with Isaiah 3. For the look on their faces bear witness against them. They proclaim their sin like Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to them, for they have brought evil onto themselves. So let's see. I'm kind of curious here. What is parade? What do you mean by that? Let's go to right to the Hebrew, huh? So let's go to, oops, I pressed the wrong one, interlinear. There we go. And so here's the one. It says they declare, right? Here it is. It says it's the verb nagad. So to tell, declare, to make known, report, announce. To stand boldly, to announce, expose, predict, explain, praise. Yeah, they're definitely praising. It's horrible. That's horrible. But it's right there. It's right there for all to see. And then going back, he says Isaiah 3:10. He says, "Tell the righteous that it will be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their deeds. Woe to the wicked! It shall be ill with him. For what his hands have dealt out, shall be done with him. My people, infants are my people. Infants are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Oh my people, your guides have misled you. You have been swallowed up, and the course of your paths." Very true. I was shocked by just to see that the whole women thing. I'm like, wow, that's we just have a pastor, literally a pastor leader leading a church. That may not be your church, but you can kind of see where God stands true to His word. I mean, if you're fallen, I mean, that's what He does, and He shows it, and they're parading it like Sodom, like it said in Isaiah 3:9. It's right there, and if we keep reading, this kind of relates to the last one and this one. It says Nahum 3:10. He says, "Yet she had become like an exile; she went into captivity. Her infants were dashed to pieces, and at the head of every street, and for her honored men lots were cast, and all her great men were bound in chains." I mean, yeah, they're aborting their children. So I mean, they're unaliving their children left and right. And then if you keep going, it says you will also be drunken. They were also, and you will go into hiding, and you will seek a refuge from the enemy. That's for sure certain. That's exactly what they're doing. It says all your fortresses are like among fig trees, and the first ripe figs. If they're shaken, they will fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, your troops are women in the midst, and the gates of your land are wide open to the enemies. Fire has devoured your bars. So if we look at 13, then this is pretty cool too. When it says so in the midst, it says your people. So this is it's a masculine term for men. It says and your people are women, right, in the midst. So if we look into here, it's a masculine term. So it's talking about men, like it's a noun, masculine. And then it says obviously the women in your midst. So what does that word mean? Well, in the midst, inner part, inward being, in part, within, center, right, within. Within them, they're women. So when you see people who are saying, I'm a woman, right, and they're really a man sexually, they're fulfilling prophecy. Nahum 3:13. So keep that in mind. But anyway, guys, if this helped you, please like, comment, share, subscribe for the next one. To the next one, Tuesdays, Testimonial Tuesdays. All right, see you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.